3, 2, 1, and we're live. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. It's Uncle V. This is the Uncle Vigilante channel. We have some very special guests today, and I have a very important announcement that is related to Epic Cash. I'm wearing this number 12 jersey. Tom Brady's jersey. And of course, you know, he retired this week. Tom Brady, peace be upon him. If you saw his girlfriend, you would understand, his new girlfriend, you would understand why he's retiring. I'm just saying. But I'm announcing my retirement too. This is an epic announcement. And I just wanted to tell you that I just got a little bit of a bonus. And my wife and I were discussing whether or not to put that little bit of a bonus into shitty ass green paper and deposit it at the bank, or if we should buy more Epic Cash. And you know the decision that we made? We're retiring from those shitty green notes. So anyway, that's my retirement. Gotcha. Did some of you think I was going to retire from Epic Cash? Not in a million years, everyone. And Harmon, I see you. I know you're there. Funny story. There's a guy who always sets his alarm to these Epic Cash Fridays. And he thought yesterday was Friday. And he set his alarm and he was just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and didn't realize, nope, a day early. But Harmon, I know you're always there. We love you. Okay, look, the title of this is Uncle V announces retirement. That's just clickbait. And Coinstore. So my two special guests today are Daniel and Manfred from Coinstore. And we have also with us, we have Jonathan, lower right. He's wearing that awesome epic hat. And then Max Freeman is on the line as well. And we're going to educate all of you about Coinstore. Who are they? Why are we interested in them? And how are they going to impact your bag of Epic Cash for the positive? So before I'm going to let you, Max, introduce our guests after you give a little bit of an overview on your point of view on Coinstore and why. And I'm just going to give it right now, everyone, to be able to get listed on Coinstore. And Max is going to tell you why it's different than Bitmart, but it's going to require a raise of $30,000 from the community. And we're already 20% of the way there. A little over $6,000 has been committed. And I'm going on record right now saying that I'll add another 5K. So Max, we're way past. We're over halfway through.
Yeah.
Not halfway through. We're over a third of the way through. And this was an easy decision for me. I really didn't leave all of my little bonus. I left enough so that I could do my part with this project. So Max, take it over.
So if you want to support it, please DM McMurphy. We're doing 2-for-1 IOUs plus 1 ECR. So, you know, it's not just the altruistic, it's not just to make the value of your Epic holdings go up, but also if you can afford $100 or 1,000 or, you know, really anything at all, send it through and you'll get some IOUs and some extra ECR, which is actually getting close. Yeah.
Hey Max, we have a lot of new people who have come into our community. Let's not presume they know what an IOU.
Right.
IOU. Can you educate? And how are those then serviced? Because frankly, you know, I'm not just a philanthropist. I'm doing this because I know the return that I'm going to get with that 5K. Why don't you use me as a case study? My $5,000. What do I get from this investing?
Okay, so when life throws you lemons, you got to make lemonade. And we had in February 2021 a near-death experience. We had a value overflow incident where there was a bug with the blockchain, and it enabled a hacker to attack the exchange wallet on VTEX and caused a loss of around 6 BTC. This is similar to what happened in BTC Bitcoin Core in 2010 when there was a similar bug influencing a range proof overflow, I think it was. And we handled it exactly as they did. We rolled back, but we faced the question. We fixed it. We rolled back and then continued the chain. We've had 100% uptime for 2 years since then, so we're confident it won't happen again. It hasn't happened in BTC for 12 years. But we had the question of what do we do with the people who lost the 6 BTC. In the case of Ethereum, they decided to monkey with the tokenomics of the project and kind of use it as an opportunity, the Rahm Emanuel philosophy of never let a crisis go to waste. But that also is a key ingredient of why Ether is so clearly a security. So we didn't want to go that way. So what we decided what to do was to socialize the loss through the DAO. And we said, okay, at the time it was about $400,000, something like that. So we issued 400,000 EIOU tokens or Epicenter IOU tokens. And we said, hey, we don't have 400 grand right now. There's nowhere where that would come from, but we want to stick this out there as a marker. If you lost $100 in that exchange hack, then we will eventually allow you to recover $1 worth of Epic. We're almost at that point now, not at liberty to discuss details, but there are some bright signs on the horizon where we've got it budgeted in as new resources come in to demonstrate our creditworthiness to the community and the world at large and recover those. So what we've been doing for small scale funding needs along the way is as we've had things to pay for, like today, we got to come up with another 20 grand or so for this. Is say, okay, community, if you send in $1, we will give you $2 worth of IOUs that will come good later, because we've got that tool out there to use. So in the case of you, Uncle V, with your $5,000 that you're going to contribute, you will get 10,000 EIOU tokens, which when we redeem those, we're deliberately not putting a special or a specific time frame on it, but it is definitely a front burner thing and a use of funds that will pay back in spades. So It's definitely high priority. So you'll get 10,000 EIOU tokens, which at some point will get you 2 for 1, $5,000 out, $10,000 worth of Epic back in. Now, we don't know how many Epic coins that is because we don't know the price at the time. But the point is, in the native currency of dollars out, dollars in, it's 2 for 1. And then you'll also get 5,000 ECR tokens on top as a bonus. So at a minimum, you're getting 100% return, plus you're getting free ECR, plus the real story here is the multiplier effect on the Epic coins that we all hold. If you're an Epic holder and you're not supporting initiatives like this financially and you're not supporting the project with your time, then really you're kind of doing it wrong, and you're frankly kind of holding us back as dead weight, because those coins would be better in hands of participants who are actively engaged and viewing it as their small business and their chance to get where they want to go financially. So that's
I want to be also very clear that we're accepting support in cash, BTC, Epic Cash, any crypto, right? Enrique will accept that and then do the conversion necessary to be able to pay, our good folks at Coinstore, which are going to share who they are and what they do and why we should all be really, really excited. Jonathan, I just want to ask you a quick question because and everybody who you don't see Jonathan a lot, but he's always here, either in the background on these calls, or I'm glad to see that handsome mug now with that epic cap. But Jonathan, you and Yoga have been actively working on, hunting bear. Actually, there will be a point in time to where we're not going to the community for all of this, but there's going to be literal, macro investment dollars coming into our ecosystem. And I know that you've had some nice conversations and such. I just want to confirm with you and with Max that our proposal that we have been engaging others with includes a use of funds to satisfy these EIOUs, correct?
Yeah. So we have a global, the globalization of Epic right now, with over 126 countries active, has brought attention to a world that wouldn't have otherwise given us attention. And now doors are opening as we speak. Obviously, Coinstore is on today. We're seeing the momentum in 2023 that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
And this is the moment. This fundraiser campaign, this will happen quicker. For some of us that have been active for a couple of years, it's not going to be that way, I believe, for those engaging in the now. And I would say, Max, just take 1 minute before you transfer over to the Coinstore conversation. Take a minute to explain the ECR component again for those coming in today. Just one.
Sure. So
Yeah.
So right now, today, if you have Epic, what can you do with it? Well, it's a great store of value. It tends to increase in dollar price terms over time. You can use the Epic Pay app to do permissionless private payments, pay anywhere, anyone, anytime, any amount, any reason, and nobody can stop you. And that's a good solid foundation, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg. And so what ECR enables is you'll be able to create the Bank of John and pair your Epic with ECR, just like it takes a sodium atom and a chlorine atom to make a salt molecule. If you have Epic and you have ECR, you will be able to create the Bank of John and issue yourself an EUSD loan. You'll basically get an equity-based line of credit against your Epic holdings. So let's say you have $100,000 worth of Epic and you want to buy something for $10,000. Instead of selling coins, paying the tax liability, giving up the future appreciation, what you can do is essentially borrow from your future self using your coins as collateral, put $20,000 worth of Epic into a smart contract, pair that with some ECR, and then issue yourself a loan for 10,000 EUSD and use that 10,000 EUSD to go buy something. And the magic of that, the alchemy, is that because the money printer continues to go burr, they're never going to stop creating more dollars until that which in motion is in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an external force. That external force might be geopolitical or Social Security going bust or a debt default or whatever. But until they hit that wall, they're going to keep printing. And that means that because the new emission supply of Epic every day keeps going down through the halving process, that means that the value of your collateral that you put to secure the loan goes up, and the value in net present terms of a dollar, and therefore the EUSD token, which is price stabilized at $1, keeps going down. So at the end of the cycle, you get your coins back, and you end up with the car or whatever you bought from it as well. And if you really think that through, the more you borrow and spend, the more that absorbs supply off the market. That pushes the value up, so that you can do what? Borrow more and spend more. So it'll take some doing. We have a few other components that need to come into play to really make that robust at large numbers and not blow up. But it's something that we've been working on for quite some time, and will come into focus this year.
I can't tell you a better time to donate, everyone, just because of the timing of what Jonathan's working on. And I want to say, Max, you've already delivered, or we've already delivered on satisfying some EIOUs that have been out there, right?
Yeah. We we took care of, I think there were 150 or 180 people on the list. A lot of them were small amounts. And even just to test out the process mechanics of the redemption. And, you know, just like the US government is able to deficit spend by issuing treasury bills and bonds and notes and various tenors, we're thinking ahead of how to create that for ourselves. And the first step is to demonstrate that our debt comes good with full faith and credit obligations of Epicenter DAO. So I think we've fully satisfied about 100, something like that, probably about half. Obviously, there's still some larger holders that are out there with bigger numbers, but you know, we have made quite a bit of progress, and we will continue to. Excellent.
Well, let's segue into the Coinstore. Here's their website, everyone. Please go to coinstore.com and kick the tires. The gentlemen here they'll share what hats they wear over there. But Max, why don't you give us a quick overview on Coinstore and why you deemed it important and have been so hot on getting us integrated?
Yeah, well, I think this is a no-brainer. So I'm going to stretch and mix many different metaphors here, but we'll roll with it. It's a Friday. So right now, the overall crypto market cap is 1.1 trillion, and there's 22,000 different assets, and our only connection to the rest of the cryptoverse is one tiny little pipe. Imagine like the electricity in your home. You plug your cell phone into the wall and it pulls 120 volts. But to run a washer dryer, you need a 240 volt plug. And if you want to run some industrial equipment, then you need a 480 volts. So the thicker the pipe, the more electricity you can get through. Right now, all of VTEX, which is really our only connection to the rest of crypto. If somebody wants to buy today, if you go to buyepiccash.com and say, how do I get, this sounds great, how do I get in the boat? Well, you got to go through BTC, and it's 27 steps, and it's expensive and slow, and you have to wait and do all this stuff. The entire daily volume of VTEX yesterday, which is our only connection to the market, was $40,000. So think about that, $40,000, that's 2 BTC. It's this tiny little pipe that can hardly handle anything. So if you have any other coin, you need to find a way to convert that to BTC and then come and jump through hoops to get into Epic. Now, fast forward to once we're on Coinstore, what does that look like? Well, instead of a $40,000 daily volume, Coinstore yesterday did 160 million. Wow. So yeah, so let's see, what is that? 160 million divided by 40,000. So we have a 4,000 times bigger pipe. Right. And it's a centralized exchange. So maybe there's market making and some shenanigans and wash trading and whatnot. You know, I don't know how prevalent that is on Coinstore, but all centralized exchanges have that. So even let's lop a zero off there. Let's say that it's only 400 times. Well, imagine that you're sipping your drink from one of those little cocktail straws that has like a 1 millimeter aperture. You just can't get much liquid through, no matter how hard you try. But now, if you have a pipe that's or a straw that's 400 times the size, you can get a lot of liquid to go through. So so it's a bigger connection quantitatively, but qualitatively it's also different because there's 59 coins that they have on there. Their number one pair by volume is not BTC, it's actually Ether. Their number 3 pair is Phantom. Their number 4 is Sandbox. Number 5 is Polkadot, Gala, Chiliz, Cardano, Dogecoin, DYDX. And I think they have about 50 more coming over the next couple of quarters.
Guess what? I just did a little X search. We will be the only coin that is private by default. There is no XMR, there is no R, there is no FIRO, there's nothing. So that'll be a point of differentiation as well. that I think is pretty exciting.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how many total users, but however many users there are on Coinstore, those who want to move value confidentially in and out of that exchange and to protect themselves against tainted coins really have only one option. So as Coinstore grows, they started in 2020 and they've had quite a bit of success and momentum since then and over the past 3 years by growing the right way. As they continue to grow and spread their wings, we will grow with them. So we get connections to 59 other coins. We get a 400 times greater pipe. Also, there's an event in Indonesia on the 18th where they're expecting 80 to 120 people locally, plus 10, maybe as many as 20,000 online viewers. And they offered us a keynote speaker slot as part of that event. So we'll also get some good marketing material out of it that we can use for video clips and stuff.
Will you be doing that virtually, the keynote?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's get to our guests. We've talked enough. Max, I'm going to let you riff the conversation for the benefit of everyone, and let me stop screen sharing so that we can see these good gentlemen. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So welcome, Manfred and Daniel. I believe Daniel is in Indonesia and Manfred is in Singapore. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that logo gear. You guys have a solid swag game. I like it. All right. So I've done quite a bit of homework, and I'm a fan. I think you guys are on the right track. But why don't we hear it from the horse's mouth? Tell us why Coinstore is awesome and why our community should be excited.
Right. Thank you for that great introduction. And yeah, let me add on to it. Actually, for Coinstore, we're actually relatively new exchange, but the growth has been tremendous. We have grown from last calendar year. We started the year with 300,000, but we ended the year with 2.5 million.
Wow.
But hey, a little heads up. This year we're planning to end the calendar year with 8 million users. It's all within the pipeline. There is a lot of campaigns to grow. We definitely will want to work with projects or like creative, innovative projects in the crypto space. But Epic, you guys will definitely be the top, right?
That's great.
The partner to go to. That's why it was a no-brainer giving having you guys on the keynote, right? Because that's how much we believe in the project too.
That's great. So you actually took, after the initial meeting, you actually took us to your senior management, right? And sang us praises to them and said, this is a project you got to pay attention to, right?
Definitely. It's not just our intention just to go on our exchange itself. We want to grow the project too. So we want to grow together. That's
beautiful. Well, we love it. And we also know, just to share with folks, that they actually work with us on that integration price. So it could have been a lot more, but they wanted us as badly as we want them. So, kudos to you. Thank you for working with us. It just makes it so much easier for us to be able to achieve successfully this fundraise. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for actually believing in us and giving us this opportunity to work together.
Great. Okay, Max, what else do you want to ask?
Let's see. So Coinstore also has 120 business development reps, mainly in emerging markets. We're going to do a coin giveaway with them. They've already set up wallets, if not all of them, certainly quite a few. So we're not only getting an exchange listing, but we're also getting their community of biz dev people to kind of integrate with our community and help go forward. Manfred, can you tell us which markets you guys are strong in? Because we're strong in certain regions, but Asia is definitely a weak spot for us. So I'm hoping you have some strength in Asia.
We definitely do have strengths in Asia. Right now, our targeted market will be like in India, Indonesia. We have like close to Both countries combined, we close to about 30, 40 people there. BDs around there. So actually, that's the main reason why we are actually looking towards these two countries in specific, is because of the dense population, the sheer population of people, and not just that. Our backend analysis actually found the adoption rate, the limitation to finance, banking sector, everything. So this creates a gap, an opportunity to grow. We actually want to offer a viable solution for those people that is not easily accessible to those banking facilities, like the green paper that I think Uncle B mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you both just share what hats do you wear? Well, not literally, but what hats, what are your jobs over at Coinstore?
Yeah.
What are your responsibilities?
So I'm the associate director for Southeast Asia for Coinstore, and Daniel is actually one of the business development lead in Indonesia.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And
There's also,
go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say some additional components to the partnership are that let's see here. They're going to announce on the news section on their website talking about us. They have a YouTube channel or part of their YouTube presence called Insights. We're going to collaborate on research reports and do 3 articles. Also interviews for their YouTube channel. They also are going to be at, I believe, 4 different events, crypto events, conferences, and so forth over the next year. And so because they're exhibiting, there's tickets and ability to piggyback as either probably not an exhibitor, but maybe speaker slots or things like that. So this is definitely not like the Bitmart experience where it's just like, oh, give us your money and then goodbye. They've really been thinking about how to help support us holistically in every way they can beyond the listing.
I was going to joke and say, oh, like everything that was committed by Bitmart that they were going to do for us, I didn't think we do squat.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Izzy's in the house.
Sorry about that. I guess taking myself on the camera. I just wanted to echo what Max was saying there, though. Like, this feels a lot different than Bitmart. The engagement we've had with Manfred and Daniel has been fantastic. So hopefully we can keep this going. After everything's set up, we can maybe engage weekly or something. And talk. Speaking of growing together, I think this is the way. This is how we do it. So, like, I really appreciate what I'm seeing. So
will there be an Epic BTC pair and an Epic USDT pair?
No,
or is it
just BTC.
Just BTC. Okay.
And that's deliberate because we don't want liquidity to fragment. And also, if you recall about, I don't know, I think it was 6 weeks or so ago, you always know who's refreshing the price constantly 5,000 times a day, because when there's a glitch on the screen, oh my God, did we really go down to 1 cent? Who's freaking out. That was because one holder had their wallet get compromised, and or maybe it was a fat finger or something, but they basically dumped their whole bag into the thin book on the Tether pair. And so somebody ended up buying a whole bunch of coins for like 1 cent or 2 cents or something like that. And so that's bad for them. It's bad for everyone who had to, in the chat, see, oh my God, the sky is falling. Are we dead? Everything happens for a reason. And as painful as the Bitmart experience was, that definitely gave us the eyes to see and the ability to recognize why this is different and why it's worth doing. I know certainly my mind has been quite closed over the years, thinking that centralized exchanges as a class are destined for the historical footnote. We know that the future is going to be decentralized, and we try to skate where the puck is and look through the windshield rather than look through the rearview mirror at where we've been. But that can kind of blind us to the fact that a lot of people prefer that centralized experience. And so we want to have options for for everyone, even if only a small subset of people use this, the fact that it's there helps. And also optically, if you go to our CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko listing right now, and you're used to looking at tokens, and you don't really have the time or inclination to go and do deep homework on understanding the substance of what's here, you could be forgiven for going, okay, this thing is on one little exchange that I've never heard of. The volume is low. I guess this thing is a shit coin, on to the next. Versus if you see two there, okay, well, might be more than meets the eye. Let me take a deeper look. We've had some YouTubers cover us and do really cursory research, not knowing that there was more depth there, and it was very revealing to see how they, when they pulled that up on the screen, what they thought. Oh wow, okay, one exchange that I've never heard of. This thing sucks. Not realizing that it's a DEX. The other thing is that Coinstore has a great trust score. I'm looking at CoinGecko, and they have a rating of 8 out of 10, which is pretty hard to do. So we're investing in the right kind of optics and signals of quality.
Question: are there any countries that cannot buy through Coinstore? Because there are some exchanges to where if you're a U.S. citizen, you can't buy.
Right.
When I
Manfred?
checked, at least the United States is good to go on there. Last I checked.
Yeah, there's one specific country, China.
No China?
No,
Okay.
China.
Okay,
Okay.
but what about Venezuela?
The last I checked is good to go.
All right. What about Russia?
No restriction there too.
All right. Okay. So the only one that you restrict is China, Syria, North Korea, Crimea. All those other
North
places are
Korea,
usually
no.
blocked.
Yeah, North Korea, no. But I mean,
Uh-huh.
like the bigger population one are just the main focus one are China.
Can we get
is due-
Can we get a list of which ones are excluded? We have a marketing campaign spinning up called #EpicEverywhere. So we'll note it on there which countries we can and which we can't serve. That's great that you do Russia and Venezuela, because a lot of us are on the call are Americans, and we can't even locate those countries on a map. If we do, we're traitors and they'll throw us in jail. So it's good that you guys will cover them for us.
Sure. We can send over the list. Okay, let me just share a bit. The whole main reason why the list will keep refreshing in terms of the regulations of each country. We will tend to abide by those regulations too, in the international jurisdiction, because we are still positioning ourselves as a global centralized exchange.
Okay, good. And I think there are some people in China that might have VPNs, right?
Yes.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Just saying.
The political correct answer is no, but there's always a way.
Exactly. So, well, I'm excited. I mean, I came in admittedly just skeptical as heck on this, but one person that I trust immensely is Izzy, who is on this call, and rare people do more in-depth research than him. And when Izzy started getting excited about it, I started to pay attention, and then the exchanges have just been great. And I will tell everybody out there, remember back when we were going to be listed on Bitmart in December, and we having the price increase of Epic Cash. I mean, there were a lot of reasons for it, right? I mean, we had the snapshot going for us on December 25th, but a biggie was getting on Bitmart. Now, they're the ones that had their own attack to where they had to kick the can down the road for us, and we lost a whole lot of momentum in that. But I'm just saying, I'm just being Todradamus here, and I believe that once we get this raised, I think it's just going to be positive pressure on Epic Cash. I think that people are going to be really investigating Coinstore, doing their own work, and imagining getting a position there to where we would be the only quote unquote privacy coin on that entire exchange, that your projections by end of year are going to have 8 million people. And that's not 8 million fraudulent people like I believe Bitmart had. Not a fan of Bitmart, by the way. Totally feel defrauded. So we have just been gun shy of even talking. I was like, Max was like, look, if we're never on a, sorry guys, no offense, a shitty ass centralized exchange again, you know, we'll sleep really well at night. And but that is limiting. You know, how do you buy Epic Cash? Well, we don't have an easy button yet. This will be much more of an easy button. Someone has BTC, they just go to coinstore.com and they acquire it. They get an account, they acquire it, and then they can send it elsewhere privately. So I think that this is going to be great news. And what I encourage every single one of you watching this is take a look at your bag of Epic, take a look at your own investments, and don't just be that community member that sits on the sidelines waiting for everyone else to contribute. Don't be that person, you know, watching everybody else's oar get wet. And I don't tell you anything to do that I won't personally do myself. Never have in our whole relationship over the last couple of years. So this Coinstore has been vetted heavily. And we invited them on today's live stream for the big reveal. Now, Max, you'll put together something in the main chats with further instructions on how to connect to L. McMurphy and to be able to support the project. Correct? Can we count on you for that?
Sure. And if you're especially hot to trot, just DM L. McMurphy, and he can interface with you on whatever way you want to support. Generally, we do a one-pager with deposit addresses and links and stuff like that. But you certainly don't need to wait. The sooner we get over the hump with the full commitment, the sooner we can put things fully in motion. So if you're keen to support, definitely don't wait.
Yeah, and I would highly suggest you consider this an investment, not an expense, because it is an investment where you get 2 EIOUs and 1 ECR. And there are so many good things that are happening behind the scenes right now. I personally feel really good about my investment, which you know, the quicker we can get there, the quicker we get integrated. So everybody, please just don't think. And you know what? I'm just going to vent a little bit here. It's like the other day I went into the main community. I'm like, we have 2,430 members. Can you imagine if just one of us got one person today to download the Epic Pay wallet and join this community? Can you imagine? And then I kind of became a little bit stern. I'm like, come on, everyone. And then at the end of the day, it was 6 people did that. And so this is what I'm talking about. Those of you who look at your bag and you don't want to water it, you don't want to nurture it, you don't have the right mindset to be able to say, hey, if I give up a percent of X, that's going to help us achieve these milestones. We're a community-driven project. Just don't sit back and let everybody else, you know, chip in and be that freeloader. I'm sorry, a little bit of tough love from me, but it does seem like kind of the same people over and over, the ones that lean in and contribute. So if more of us lean in and contribute, we get there faster, and the individuals contributing don't have to contribute as much. So if you have $100 worth of something, whether it's cash or Epic or BTC or USDT or whatever, will you please chip in? I'm really begging you. I'm begging you right now. I'm not going to get on my knees because they hurt. but but maybe I would if they didn't hurt. Izzy, what do you have to say about community engagement
Yeah.
with?
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit onto that. You got my gears turning. I don't like to disclose exactly how much I contribute towards various fundraisers or anything like that, but suffice it to say that I think I contribute a meaningful amount. That's what I can afford. And you know, I look at this as an avenue to gain exposure to Epic Cash. I talk about Epic Cash frequently. I see myself as having a good faith obligation because I believe Epic Cash is the best crypto in the world. I don't think people talk enough about what a crypto actually is. There's a website called cryptoratingcouncil.com, and they evaluate cryptos like, or so-called cryptos like Ethereum, XRP, HBAR, and old school cryptos like Bitcoin, you know, Litecoin, and some other proof of work coins, and they compare they give those a rating based on how those can lead to legal entanglements for being a security. Epic Cash scored as perfect a score as possible by their guidelines for not being a security. When people are talking out there on all these influencers, oh, look at XRP, what's going to happen with SEC and XRP, what's happening with HBAR, what's, you know, and they're talking about all these tokens that are centralized, that are controlled centrally by the people who hold the most tokens, that were either pre-mined or, like in the case of Ethereum, 100% pre-mined and then mined later over the course of time. Like, people are, and this is what I love about the opportunity with Coinstore, is the opportunity for someone like Max, who can speak so well to these things and go on and have that stage with them and continuing getting the word out, and you know, asserting the narrative about cryptocurrencies and how important they are, that it empowers people and not a centralized corporate entity. You know, there's still room for corporate entities in cryptocurrencies, but we need the focus to be more on Web3, you know, personal engagement, empowering finances for people. And that's where I see this relationship going with Coinstore. So that, and this is, by the way, our fourth CeFi centralized exchange attempt with Epic Cash. It was Cybex, then it was Cytex, and then
we didn't have anything to
Bitmart,
do.
but this is going to be way better.
We didn't have anything to do with Cytex. They just did it. BiHodl, they just did it.
Yeah.
That other one
right.
that was around for like a week before they blew up, they just did it. We didn't have anything to do with it. The only times that and the only time that we have proactively instigated anything was back in 2021 with Bitmart, because frankly they lied to us. I mean, had they come through with even 10% of the sun, moon, and stars that they promised, it could have been great. So shame on you for defrauding us.
Hey, Manfred and Daniel, I want to ask you a question that is very important to me. Okay. It's really easy to refer to us as a privacy coin. However, we try to be sensitive to that, because we didn't set out to be a privacy coin. It's just with our Mimblewimble technology and CoinJoin technology, we just happen to be a layer one coin whose transactions are private. Okay, so there's a little bit of finesse there, a little different. Do you all have any issues of being able to with privacy coins? As I mean, like if Max came on and he said, hey, we're a layer one privacy coin, does that raise any little quarter red flags to you and your management? Can we be bold enough to do that? Because, you know, we are a privacy coin, but where there are sensitivities, we need to say we're a layer one coin whose transactions happen to be private. That would just be good guidance from you to us on how to be able to, you know, set the table, so to speak.
I understand this one. I have to seek the advice of my marketing side. At the get-go, I don't really foresee there's an issue, but nonetheless, I will need to clarify with the marketing director in this aspect. But definitely, let us know how you guys want to position the token. we will do our very best. But if we cannot execute it to whatever parameters you give, we will try to advise it or give you another option. But our commitment to projects or every projects that come aboard on Coinstore is that we will work together hand in hand.
Yeah. So Max, do you understand what I'm saying? It's just,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I personally would love to be able to say, hey guys, we're the only privacy coin on Coinstore, and that be a feature, right? But I asked the question only because if there are any sensitivities, it's real easy for us to pivot the language a bit. Max?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Korea just out and out bans coins that have Korean exchanges cannot offer coins that offer confidential transactions. Singapore doesn't do that. They institute their control at different points within the overall stack. So I think we're on safe ground, and whether we call it a potato or a potato, the rose by any of a variety of names smells as sweet.
So you just confused me. Are you saying that you think it's okay for us to be able
We
to
can call it whatever we want.
Okay, good, because I like to say we're a privacy coin.
Sure.
Because there's a whole world out there who are starting to understand that BTC is a surveillance coin. And when you look at all of our attributes and how we compare to BTC as superior money, would you rather buy, a coin that people who get your address can tell everything about your transaction history and where that coin has been, and potentially have that coin blacklisted? Or do you want to be able to acquire, a great store of value that has all of the positive traits that BTC, Bitcoin Core, had at launch, but now because of our tech, our transactions are private. So for me to go to coinstore.com and do a search for XMR privacy coin, R privacy coin, Firo privacy coin, and nothing shows up, that got me excited. I'm like, whoa, when Epic Cash is there, in the description, I'm sure all of the coins have a description of who we are. I think privacy is a huge, big deal.
Yeah, and also the fact that we have privacy, this hasn't really come up quite so much yet for people. It's out there, but it's like unless it's affected you or somebody that's affected, it's kind of off your radar. But this issue of tainted coins is really a big deal. So if you're buying BTC, let's say off of Paxful or really from any type of place, even person to person, you need to trust the seller. You need to trust where you're buying it from, because you have to care which coins you get. The freshly mined coins that come straight out of the block reward tend to sell for up to a 20 or 30% premium. Not always that much, but sometimes it is usually 10 or more. People are willing to pay a premium for virgin coins, and if the coins have been around, and you're going to face some challenges when you go to deposit them. A lot of centralized exchanges and regulated financial intermediaries will actually shut down your account if they don't like the risk score of the coins that you get. And that's quite pernicious, because let's say you get some coins and then you go to deposit them, and now your account is shut down, and you have a man show up at the door at 5 a.m. going, hey, where did you get these dodgy coins? Well, it could have been 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hops back ago that those coins got to you. They were in the hands of somebody who did something bad with them, and now you're inextricably linked forever to the proceeds of crime or something unsavory. The blockchain doesn't lie. Here, you're tied in with this, North Korean hacker ring or child, sex material or whatever, and you can't really protect against that. And so, not having to care which coins you get because of the fungibility, is a major feature that you get with that transactional privacy. And aside from Monero and Pirate Chain, of course, but I mean, that's not really serious. So we can kind of scratch that one off. There's really nothing else out there. Firo is great, but it's optionally private. You have to opt in to that feature. And if you opt in, then you're kind of raising your hand and saying, I'm suspicious. Also, Zcash. Zcash is $2 billion of market share, and it gets, or market cap, and it gets a lot of press. But then you go and look at the block explorer and go, wait a minute, only 1.9% of Zcash transactions even bother to use the transaction or the privacy. So yeah, so you're not a needle in a haystack. You're a needle in a small box with like 3 sticks of hay and your needle. You're just saying, hey, look at me, I'm really suspicious. So yeah, we don't have those problems.
So Daniel and Manfred, do you two have any questions for us, perchance?
My question is, don't stop coming to us for any advice, any suggestion, or how do you want to market it together, to grow together?
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I have a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a very good, long-lasting relationship. And Max and our chief engineer, Todd Lewis, and I did a series called The Quest for Superior Money, where we came up with 35 attributes. Like if we're just starting from scratch, knowing what we know about money and history, what are the 35 attributes that you must consider if you were to create a superior currency? We then compared Epic Cash to BTC, to gold, to Federal Reserve notes, and then to CBDCs. And we literally, you can check the Uncle Vigilante channel out and go to my playlists up there, click on it, and you'll see the Quest for Superior Money. There are 23 episodes. So my gosh, some of them went over an hour. So let's just call it maybe 40 hours of content where we took that deep dive to come up with this interactive PDF that I'll make sure that you guys get. I'll send it in the chat. But you can go through and you can click through it. We check every single box except one. And that one is widespread adoption. So why are we so undiscovered? Epic holders, it's because it's hard to acquire. We're on one exchange. And so this clears the decks and clears a good bit of friction for people to way more easily acquire Epic Cash. And Coinstore has proven to have this very positive trajectory, and we're going to be the only privacy coin on their exchange, and we have their support of featuring us and helping us with marketing and locking arms and doing this together. So to me, this is just what the doctor ordered, so that we can ultimately come close to just putting a little bitty check mark in that the box that we don't currently check. So but every other box we check, I will tell you, I'll send you that. And the more we can educate your customers to that fact, I think that you're going to see just an amazing amount of positive momentum with Epic Cash, and frankly, our price. So Max, do you have anything to share? We're coming up at the end of the hour. So
no, I think let's just leave Daniel and Manfred with our thanks. And if you want to support, reach out to McMurphy. And as always, this Epic works best if you work it. So if you want to get involved, whether that's as a translator or helping out with, really anything at all, reach out to me via DM or Mother Trucker or Islo or Uncle or anybody, and we'll find a way to get you plugged in and help out. So thanks everybody for being here, and we'll see you again in 167 hours.
All right. Okay. Well, hey, Manfred, Daniel, everybody in the chat, Everybody who's
Yeah.
in the chat but are watching us later, thank you for being here in my personal favorite time of the week, and wishing you all a very good weekend, and can't wait to see you next Wednesday. We're back on track, Max, where you and I will be doing our thing on Wednesdays with a special guest. So, okay, have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, man.